Does your twin flame journey feel like an endless battle and that you keep waiting to arrive to your destiny somewhere on the horizon? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to show you 3 ways that will allow you to align with your destiny today. Let's go! Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I'm a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today I'm going to show you 3 suggestions for you to implement in order to help you align with your destiny and live in the moment so that you realize your destiny is now. We've been going through the karmic purge. We've been purifying our past. And we keep coming into this feeling that something is on the horizon. And really that's what is our destiny, is the feeling. And in that destiny, it's the idea and the concept, seeing it on the horizon, that journey feels endless. And that it's searching outside of yourself for something that already exists within. So I want to show you today how to align with your destiny so that you can realize that your destiny is living in the now. And it is living in, day to day, hour by hour, and moment to moment. This is the destiny. It's so practical concept and simple concept. But also on the flip side of that, it's the hardest thing to master. And I'm kind of share with you why that is today as well. And so one of the key things that most people, and I find people asking this question is, how do I find my destiny? Which could even be purpose, even be another word for this. And if you tell me what that is, I'll figure out how to get there. Right? I'm sure you've probably done the same thing, right? Because most people spend their time and thought and energy on the idea of what does that feel like outside of yourself, and then thinking that you've heard that saying that it's not the destination, it's the journey that counts. And that is so true. So the other thing about that, when it comes to our perception of our journey, is that's not necessarily what we see and what we're looking at, I should say. Let me back that up. It's not what you're looking at. It is what you see that counts. So it's your perception of that journey. And too many people spend their focus on trying to think that something's wrong and that they're going to try to get it right. And here, one of these things I'm going to tell you is about being able to, start shifting your focus on what's right instead of what's wrong. Look at how far you've came versus how far you have to go. Because what you focus on expands, and what you put your attention to, you get, and what you see is what you magnify, what you bring. Your external world is a direct reflection of your internal environment as to what you see within yourself, really. And therefore, if you don't like what you see outside, it's definitely time to take action and take accountability and responsibility and know that you are the only one that can change that. And again, there's another concept, as I was saying, that sounds nice, that sounds good, but then it's like, well, how do I do that? And, I was thinking about even just that question, kind of at where people are at. How do I align my destiny? How do I get into purpose? How do I show up every day in a place of love? How do I love myself? And it reminded me, and actually even had an awareness of this, that when I started my chiropractic practice 25-ish years ago, my business name was Healthy Solutions, And then my tagline was make the connection mind, body, spirit. Well, now I do the same thing, but it's more like make the connection mind, body, spirit, heart. And so this morning is kind of interesting because that sounds simple enough to make those connections of your mind, or say with your mind, with your body, with your heart, with your soul. But until you actually can own it, feel what that feels like, there's no one that can tell you to do that. So part of this is you got to get out of the mindset of what that looks like and learn to feel that space. Learn to find a place of knowing and trusting in your own intuition to align with that. So if you want to get in alignment with your destiny, you really got to shift your focus from those projections I'm talking about of your external world to more of this present moment in this moment. And that's the only way you can turn this around and tip the scale. Because let's take that one step further. Let's talk about this for 1 second. So most of the time, what's happening is we're put through the test of feeling this separation from all of this destiny of what it is we want, because we feel disconnected from this make the connection mind, body, heart, and soul. And because we feel so disconnected from that, we think that it's outside of us. And so what we need to, in making this connection to our mind, our thoughts, making a connection to our body, these things are signals. They're red flags. And when you're focusing on the future and the future projections and you don't stop to be present, you miss the red signs, the red flags, the signals, the signs that are they're definitely your signals, but they're giving you the feedback and they're actually giving you the answer that you want, that you're kind of seeking for outside of you, and you're missing it because it's so simple, as I was saying. And it's also about allowing, which is a letting go of the resistance of you being the one to try to do, try to be, try to have. You're trying to do something. And it's in that the action of doing that is blocking you from actually receiving these things. So in these red flags, for instance, I'm just going to use the body for an example. If we have pain, or if we have we're not feeling well, or maybe even depressed from the mental, emotional standpoint, in the body there's pain, or basically what this is triggering in you is that there's something wrong. There's something you need to pay attention to. There's something you need to do within that space. But most people don't listen to that, and they keep pushing themselves and cause more dis-ease on, say, the body, the mind, the emotions, the heart, and they try to push through. And that dis-ease that's happening on our physical realm, our emotional realm, our spiritual realm, in our heart space, that is all creating the disconnect that we have between our consciousness and our conscious awareness and connecting to that intuition or that pain or that signal or that depression or the idea that you don't have the things that you are seeking at the moment, putting again another focus in that area. So when this happens is this disease, say on the body, causes disease over time, because it's those thoughts, feelings, and those emotions that create the distress, say on the body in this case, that creates the interference and its receptivity to heal or be healed. And so we are our own worst enemy, and we have to learn to get out of the way of these things so we can align. And once we do start to align, though, the next kind of phase of this is, so we have to come in tune with our mind. We have to come in tune, this connection, same kind of concept. We have to come in tune with our heart. We have to come in tune with our soul, the inner voice inside that's trying to get our attention to wake up, to align with the purpose, or to bring into form the things that we signed up to experience through our virtues and our lessons even, and our manifestation of our rewards for going through this dark night of the soul in this hell. And to come into that sense of connection, that tuning into our heart, mind, soul, body, and aligning with that, then helps us to connect to then the divine mind, the cosmic heart, the infinite spirit, as well as the collective body, all being the connectivity here of our divinity, of our soul's purpose, of the bringing the creator into creation and bringing that into form. So I kind of just want to recap this one more time. I think this is so important because you have to make this connection, mind, body, spirit, in order to be able to then connect to the spirit, the mind, the body, and the heart of God. And so the key, another really important thing here is, and I've not got to the 3 ways yet, this information is coming through to kind of set you up for an understanding of the importance of this, is that it's progress, not perfection. It's learning in the process while living in the moment and then embracing the journey of that process of wherever you are. But it's also in the practice of that is tipping the scale. So just like, baseball practice or, something like that, a singer, you see the end product, but you don't see all the hours it took them to get to the perfection of all that you see. You're seeing, and then that's how we strive to want to be here, but then we don't want to do the work it takes to go along the process. We want to get to the end result and then just keep putting our head against, how can I get there? What does it take to get there? Tell me how to get there and I'll do it. But I don't want to be present to know that each step along the way is what adds up, the accumulation of those things that give you the bigger picture as it unfolds and you continue to go through, because you honestly, from your conscious mind, cannot conceive the concept and the idea of as big of a mission, a journey, an experience that you can have, because you would create too many limitations and you would block yourself from receiving that which you think is the end result. So get out of your own way here. And that's kind of, it's not even one of them, but really this is probably in a big concept if you were to sum all of these up, it is about getting out of your own way here. And we actually get put through the mill here. We get put to the test that forces us because we resist this, okay? And because we're resisting it and we're fighting it and we're shutting down and we're getting in the way, and then we're fighting the letting go of an understanding of a simple concept of just be in the moment. Because I've been saying this a lot to clients lately. Instead of doing, it's time to be. Well, all right, how do you do that? Right? And then I usually say, well, when you don't have to ask that question, you figured it out. And it's so true. And that's where I said it's so simple, like concept, but such a hard thing to arrive to. But in the process, we get forced to basically be put in a corner by the universe to be alone with ourselves while we begin to unlock this truth. But the truth is we are not alone in that, where we feel like we are. Now that can be purifying some of the abandonment, but that's kind of getting over now. You are part of the collective as a whole, as I said, in the collective body. And that collective goal is to learn how to embrace the journey from the heart that we have in this moment as a collective scale, as twin flames. The goal is embracing this journey from the heart. And that's everyone that's going up in ascension. And that's everyone on this journey to the heart, basically. So let's talk about 3 ways to align with your destiny in the living in the moment and really creating and embracing that journey from the heart. So the first one, I kind of already touched on a few of these, but I'm going to kind of like sum them up now and clarify them a little deeper. It's not what you look at, it's what you see that matters. And so I asked you today, like, what do you see? You know, what do you see in front of you? What do you see? What are your beliefs? What do you think on a daily basis about yourself, your life, your twin flame journey? What are you speaking over your life? What are you saying to others? What's your self-talk to yourself every day? What are you doing? What are your actions? What are you telling yourself you can or can't do? You know, and also viewpoints. Let's talk about that. Viewpoints of yourself, but also the viewpoints of others, and allowing those things to come in and block you and keep you stuck from moving forward in your life because of the fear of what others are thinking of you. So when it comes to this concept, we need to take a look at what are your beliefs and to clear your thoughts from those beliefs and clear that pathway to the heart. Because the more you can pay attention to what you're speaking, and this is why it's going to kind of piggyback this concept. You need to stop focusing on what is wrong and start focusing on what is right. You just do. You don't have to beat yourself up anymore. You don't have to be like going through the pain and the misery anymore, or staying limited into with your limiting thoughts and belief systems. You can choose to change these things. You can choose to live in present time consciousness. And, you know, it's time to release that load and stop carrying that load for other people that they've put on you for their own projections of their own belief systems, so that you can now in your own, let's say this again before I say this. So it's not what you look at, it's what you see. And in your lessons, in your pit of hell, do you see beauty and do you see gratitude? Or do you see misery and pain? What you focus on expands. If you keep seeing these lessons as negative self-talk, pain, lack, separation, not here yet, you're creating more separation. You're not making your connection to your mind, your thoughts. Therefore, your connection to your mind and your thoughts are not aligning with the divine mind of God. That's why you feel alone. That's why you're put in the corner in resistance, trying to still figure out how to get in alignment with your purpose and your destiny, which you don't have to do alone, because you're not alone. You're part of the collective whole. And all you got to do is tap into the connection. And the only way you can tap into the divine connection of God's mind is to tap into your own. And to change your limiting beliefs that you're separate from and align with it. So what do you see? And I really, in this, just really encourage you to, on a daily basis, to right now, and I feel this coming through, make this vow with me, that from this day forth, my focus, my intention is going to be on what is right in my life, what accomplishments I have done, and my best strength and my highest good, versus what is not right in my life and what I'm missing and what is separate from me, including my twin. Even if that means surrendering the twin or surrendering others so you don't have to carry their weight, that's taking back your power and helping you to align in the moment, living in your day-to-day operation at a space of practicing in the moment, being conscious of your thoughts, what you're saying, what you're doing, how you're viewing others. Over time, you're going to tip the scale. And as you tip the scale, you're going to find that you have aligned with the mind of God. And therefore, Your higher conscious awareness will come from a higher state in your highest good, and you will be in alignment with the vortex, which is your destiny, living it in the moment, not waiting for it to happen. Okay, so feel complete on that one. So number 2, the second way for you to align with your destiny and live it out in the moment is to clarify, what are my values? What are my values? You know, when we talk about value, it really means, what is my worth? Most people do not realize their own worth. They just don't. And I want to tell you something, that worth of you, your worth and your values are the only thing you have control over in this life. Because you're the one that gets to choose to honor yourself first and foremost, to put yourself above and beyond and in the priority, which is self-love, technically. And then setting loving boundaries out of your self-respect so that other people respect you. And learning to believe in yourself by trusting that intuition, trusting your guidance, trusting your journey, trusting your twin flame journey, trusting that you will receive love. And just because it isn't here in what your conscious mind might trick you and put an illusion up today, doesn't mean you have to wait to experience in the present moment the emotion, the feeling, the thought as if it already is, which will bring into your life today's moments add up to tomorrow's destiny of exactly what it is you're desiring. And one more time, your mind cannot conceive and phantom how beautiful, how big, and how awesome your greatest capacity is. Therefore, you're being put in the corner to get out of the way and let the divine deliver to you what it is you're supposed to receive, because it's bigger than you could create from a conscious human mind. And therefore, you're blocking the greatest good. So in that, believing in yourself and in this journey and living in the moment and experiencing love by loving yourself and respecting yourself and honoring those red flags, honoring when you're in pain, honoring when you don't feel well, honoring those emotions, honoring the thoughts, but giving them the right attention. The right attention, meaning what is right in them, not what was wrong in all of it. So that you can then open up and let go of the resistance and allow this energy to come in, your highest good to come in, and then reward yourself. So I'm suggesting that you start to honor these feelings, thoughts, emotions, red flags, respect yourself enough to put yourself first, and then put up loving boundaries. When you do that, then other people will respect you, because that's why they're not respecting you, because you don't respect yourself. In all this process, and you trusting it and embracing this journey will help you to believe in yourself. And now you start to gain your worth and your value. And in doing so, your rewards come. So instead of waiting for the rewards to show up, start to reward yourself on a daily basis. You know, maybe buy yourself some flowers coming up for Valentine's Day. Treat yourself to, like, say if you've been eating good like all week, have something that you wouldn't normally have on one day a week. Do something that is a reward for your effort. Okay. And then in number 3 in this, let yourself live and be in the moment, right? This is the most simplest idea. How do you do it? If anybody has any tips on how to do that, how you do it, make sure to comment below. I would love to hear how you live in the moment and live in the now, and align with your divine mind, your cosmic heart, your collective body here, and your infinite soul. So one of the things in that, then, stop worrying about the outcomes. That's how you bring yourself centered. And I like to talk about the PTC, living in present time consciousness, and make your choices based on how you feel in any given moment. That is going to be key. How these red flags, these signals and these signs that are coming from your heart, mind, body, and soul, you need to be in the moment, making your decisions based on what makes you feel good now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when your twin returns. Now, these collective moments will build up and create and embrace the journey to bring and deliver you more than you could have conceived from your mind. And what is your best interest in the moment, really, I guess would be a good way to say that. So when you're faced with these challenges, when you're faced with making decisions, what is at your best interest to take action in now? Ask yourself that when you're faced with things that you have and challenges and decisions to make. Don't worry about tomorrow. The destiny is now. What in the now is going to give me what I need right now? And the next step, and the next step, and the next step will then unfold really beautifully as you begin to trust this process and see all your dots start to connect, that you're building all these little pieces, that it's creating the bigger picture, and then they're integrating. That's going to allow you to start to focus on the right things in the moment. Because now you're living in that moment from a connected consciousness, a connected heart, a connected body, and a connected soul, which then keeps you connected to the collective body, divine mind, cosmic heart, and infinite spirit. There is no separation here. And something else is so important, I think. So many people think of this destination as outside of them and something coming or something down the road. I challenge you to decide in this idea of living in the moment or living in the now or being in the moment. Find the magic in the unknown. Like, instead of seeing the unknown as fearful and scary, see, here we go back to what do you look, it's not what you look at, it's what you see. So when you look at the concept and the idea that you're faced with the unknown, do you see it as scary or magic? It's your choice. But if you want to learn to tip the scale and live it out for it to unfold to become a reality, I would recommend that you do exactly what I said and make that choice that you choose to be what's right in your life, not what's wrong. This is going to allow you to tap into your ultimate, greatest, highest potential and the creative flow that will come through you then and manifest and bring into your life that which you desire. I want to leave you with 3 reflections today. 3 things that I want you to, right now, get a pen and paper, and I want you to write these down, and I want you to answer these questions for yourself. Number 1 is, in this reflection, I want you to ask yourself, to describe how my ideal destiny feels. How does my ideal destiny feel? The number 2 is, I want you to write down what are 3 of your values, the 3 most important values you bring into the world. And then the third thing I want you to do is write down, what are the action steps that I need to do today in order to align with my destiny right now, in the given moment, living in this present moment. And I want you to just let yourself live and be in this moment so that you can then, with each person and each experience and each lesson, find those lessons in them so that you can then allow yourself to align, experience your destiny, and then embrace that journey so that your destiny is not a place. Your destiny isn't something you're to arrive at. Your destiny is where you are right here, right now, today. Okay, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the shine, and may you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.